Okay, we got somebody here who, sitting right there, they decide to keep flashing their front lights on. They're in their car. I don't know what they're trying to do, but they were a little bit further back before, and then they pulled forward and parked in that parking spot. But they'll turn on their headlights once in a while, and then they turn them off. So let's see, I'm not sure what kind of car this is. Maybe somebody else can recognize it. But we'll get the license plate eventually. They seem to be very focused. But we just sit here. I've got a lot of gas here. Let's see. Got a lot of gas, and I'm not going anywhere. Nice low RPMs in eco mode. You see that shit? It's 5:52 a.m., 34 degrees outside, but I'm in short sleeves inside. And we just sit back and we record, because we can record anything in the parking lot. Anything our eyes can see in public. You have no right to privacy in public, no expectation of privacy in public. You have a right to privacy when you're in public, but since you're in public and out in the open, you have no expectation of it unless you create it yourself. Meaning, if I was to wear a mask, I'm creating privacy, because I'm making sure that none of these other cameras that are in any of these businesses around here can see my face and identify me through facial recognition, or maybe a Tesla has their cameras on, because they always do. At that point, you can just you can disguise yourself. You can wear a mask. You're allowed to do that. You could be dressed up as a bad guy, as a terrible person, because you could be an actor in a movie, and a police officer wouldn't know that. So they could look at you and say, I think that person is a bad guy. I'm going to go search him. They might say that, but our Fourth Amendment protects us from that search. They have to have a probable cause that you have committed, are committing, or will commit a crime. And if they don't have that, they can't do anything about it. Now, this parking lot I had parked in a while back, there was an officer that used to sit right up under that PF sign, basically, or somewhere along the front there. She would just park and sit there with her lights on, as if she was doing important business. I'm pretty sure she was just fucking around on her cell phone the whole time. But the point is that she could just sit there and pretend like she's keeping this parking lot safe. Well, that night I scared her off. That night I interrogated her. She was dressed as a cop, so I could approach her and require her to answer questions. And when I did that, man, she failed. She couldn't answer any of them. She couldn't tell me what the Fourth Amendment was. She said it was searches and seizures. I was like, what the hell? It just says searches and seizures? Well, that's enough to pass the multiple question test you might have to take to become a cop, because you might look on the multiple answer test, where you have A, B, C, or D. What is the Fourth Amendment? A, is it freedom of speech? B, is it freedom of expression? C, is it the right to not have to quarter troops during times of peace? D, does it have to do with searches and seizures? And she would say, oh, there it is, searches and seizures. I passed the test. But she didn't know what the hell that meant. She didn't know the Fourth Amendment. And she said, I'm just trying to do my job. Well, I believe you're trying to do your job. The fact is, you probably can't do your job if you don't know the law, and your job, primarily, is law enforcement. So if you want to do your job, and you are, in fact, law enforcement, then it would help you to be inquisitive and go, read the law, and then commit it to memory. And I get it. Maybe it's hard for some, right? You might not be able to list the 5 rights protected and enshrined in the First Amendment. You might not know there's 5 rights protected and enshrined in the First Amendment. But those 5 rights, once you hear them, you say, oh, that's where I get that right. Most people know the First Amendment is freedom of speech. It's freedom of expression, actually. And it covers a lot of things, including freedom of speech. So the First Amendment is freedom of speech, and then it gives you the freedom to speak anywhere, anytime, in a public setting, out in public, you're allowed to speak. That goes along with your right to protest, right? So that's another one that's covered in there. But what if you're out speaking to a crowd of people about Jesus, because you think Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life? Not that I do, but imagine you did. And you wanted to get a loudspeaker and go out there and bullhorn, and you wanted to broadcast it to the whole fucking parking lot. Well, that's your right too. Freedom of religion. Freedom to protest. Freedom of religion. Freedom of speech. Another right is when you're upset by your government and you want to complain to their supervisor. Get me your supervisor. You have the right to redress your grievances with the government. That means if it's a police officer, and they are government, that's government. So what if they piss you off? Well, get your supervisor here right now. I have a right to talk to your supervisor and file a formal complaint. It's my First Amendment right. Okay, but that's only four different rights enshrined by the First Amendment. What's the 5th? The 5th right enshrined by the First Amendment is what I'm doing right now. The right to free media, free press, the right to record, the right to take a picture. If I'm looking out here and I'm like, oh man, I love these light fixtures. These are beautiful light fixtures. Whoever put these in, they deserve a prize. I'm allowed to do that. It's my right. And it can't be infringed upon by any state or government or anybody. Nobody can tell me that I can't record. So even this person, maybe this is a private citizen. Maybe they're doing what I'm doing and they think I'm a suspicious car. We'll find out. They're probably a cop. Probably undercover, I don't know. Because not many normal citizens just sit here for hours the way I'm doing. Now, I've sat here for hours, but I'm waiting for my gym. I mean, my gym's open. I'm just waiting to go in. I don't feel like going in right now, so I'm just waiting. But as I'm waiting, I mean, you get people that pull up, turn on their headlights, turn off their headlights, turn back on their headlights, turn them off. You haven't seen them turn it on again since I brought the camera up. That's another thing that police get. Once they're on camera, you can hold their feet to the flame because you have evidence anytime they speak of what they believe, what they think, what they say they're doing. If they can't articulate the crime, they have a real hard time continuing that discussion with you because their job is to enforce law and chase down criminals. If they don't know a crime, they can't sit there and just figure it out. They can't hold you until maybe you're guilty of prowling. What's prowling, bud? Do you know? They don't know. So, all you have to do is just pull out your camera sometimes and assert that you're watching them. It's not the other way around. They don't have a right to just stalk you. They don't have a right to hover. They don't have a right to stare at you and glare and intimidate and coerce. Our government shouldn't be something we fear. I don't think citizens in this government want to be afraid. Now, I'm a veteran, an Air Force veteran. I don't think citizens of this government want to be afraid of the government. I don't think they want to be afraid of police. I think we want police to be like heroes to us. In fact, most people my age grew up being taught police are heroes. Anytime you get lost or scared or you think there's danger, run to the police officer. They'll help you. But what kind of person would want to run to a police officer who stands around intimidating, coercing, trying to find a law that you've broken somehow, some menial law, so that they can cite you for it? What kind of person does that? What kind of person would want to go to a cop like that? So when cops act like that, it's not a healthy thing for them to do. It also paints a target on their backs. Because, now, I'm not like this necessarily, but you've heard Luigi. You know, you guys know who he is. He's not cop related, but the point is that when people are pressured in certain ways and they don't have that freedom of expression, that First Amendment right, and that's not respected, they get violent. And cops already deal with violence, right? And you're like, well, the cops can handle that. Sure, maybe, but not all the time. Not when a bunch of citizens decide they just want to burn down a police precinct like they did during certain riots after George Floyd. And I say riots. I don't think that was really the right term to use there. Probably protests is the right term. And then protests usually with undercover cop provocateurs that started things but somebody did burn a police precinct. They set it on fire. This is what happens when you create that fear. You create chaos, and amongst that chaos, certain bad actors can emerge, whether they are provocateurs or whether they're just absolutely angry citizens who think in the moment that it's okay now I can burn a cop precinct down because there's so much chaos, nobody will see me, nobody will notice. So now we got blue lights over there. I think that's Shitcunt Johnson, and I say that because she said her name was S. Johnson. Leaves me to wonder what her actual first name is, but that's okay. This cop here driving around. Let me zoom back out because that gets shaky. And I'm just holding my phone, so I don't have any special equipment here. But I expect they're going to come up and ask me what I'm doing. Eventually. They don't have a right to know. But I wouldn't be surprised if this person here called over that person over there who's behind this truck. Here they come. I'm just willing to bet. I don't know. And it's funny because this person on my left here, they made themselves known. They turned on their headlights multiple times and never left their car. They've been sitting here for a while. They don't have any business here. I have business, though. Let's see. Sheriff of Gwinnett County. Jesus, this car just almost hit this car over here. Did you see that crazy crap? Yep. They're coming up over here because that's what they do. Let's see what happened. Really slow. So they're not pursuing any crime right now. Oh, looping towards me. Let's see. Oh, man, they're probably curious. They see me holding a camera. I'm wondering. Actually, that cop car probably doesn't see me holding the camera from this distance, but this person here, who's right here, is probably the one that made a call to get this cop into the parking lot. I'm just guessing. It doesn't take long. You get out of camera and just anywhere in public, and people suddenly want to come around. It's so funny. Keep going. Maybe you'll leave the parking lot. Maybe now that you drove around, you'll leave the parking lot. Because I'm going to be more and more obvious about recording as time goes on. Like right now, I'm holding the camera way up. At first, I wasn't really doing anything. I brought the phone up while I was playing a video game, and I pointed it at this car that was to my left here that was showing their headlights and pulling up closer and being suspicious. Now, see, they looped around to the back of the building. All right, we'll just come back to this guy right here, because I know. And what I'm saying is, if you just stand in public long enough with a camera out recording, eventually one of these cops will walk up to you and ask you questions. Hey, how you doing? Now, many people get scared. How am I doing? I have to answer that. I'm good, everything's fine. No, you don't have to talk to them at all. As often as your First Amendment right applies, your freedom to speak, so does your Fifth Amendment apply, your right to not incriminate yourself. And that means you have the right to not respond to them for any reason at all. Meaning, they could ask you how you're doing, what's going on, what are you recording. You never have to answer them. But what you could do is come back with, I'm minding my own business, what are you doing? Because honestly, if you're not breaking the law, they're not allowed to ask you questions. They can't just pull you over and interrogate you. Yeah, see, this person's definitely still in their car here. I don't know what they're doing, but they got their hood up. They're concealing. And they're just sitting there. And they've been sitting there for a long ass time. Now, I've been sitting in this car parking lot since about, it's 6 a.m. right now. I've been sitting here since about maybe 3 a.m., maybe a little earlier. Just because I don't sleep at night sometimes. So I like to come to my gym and sit in the parking lot and play video games and watch videos on my cell phone. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. Nothing illegal. It's a parking lot that's open to the public. The public can come and go. But on top of that, I'm a customer at that gym. And the cops don't have a right to tell the CEOs of any company who can or can't be their customer. Now, what they can do is take away... Oh, here comes that cop again. Let's see what they do. Let's see. They wear the big blue and red lights, but we know that this one's one, and we know that this one's one. I know. Maybe you don't know. I know, but we'll see. Let's see what happens. They're just trying to show what they call show of force, where they drive around as if you better watch out. We're here. You better not be doing anything illegal. But show of force, another word for that is intimidation attempt, coercion attempt to get you to leave when you don't have to leave, and when you're doing nothing wrong. So show of force is meaningless. Or really, it's meaningful, but it's meaning kind of a rights violation, because we have the right to peace. They're supposed to be peace officers, maintaining peace. Intimidation and coercion is not peaceful. Now, this might be something they do in the military, in foreign operations, to control foreign lands, but this is we're at home, man. There's no right to intimidate the citizenry. This is wrong. Oh, okay, so now they turned off their lights. Those headlights there are the cop that just stopped and turned off their blue lights. So that's the cop. They've parked there, or they've stopped there. They're not parked. But I'm going to keep an eye on them. And the whole time I'm keeping an eye on them, I'm keeping an eye on these guys. Because whoever this guy is, if he's not a cop, I mean, if he's just a citizen, you know, I mean, he has the right, just like me, to sit here if he's just a citizen. But what do you think are the odds that a citizen comes to a Family Dollar, a Halal Market, a Planet Fitness, a multi-tax place, a Metro T-Mobile, a Medico, whatever that is, a Family Medicare, furniture, electronics over there at Aaron's, Flora's Grill, Scent Depot? What do you think the odds are that somebody comes and sits in this parking lot for any length of time and they're citizens, other than somebody like me who just came here because I have nowhere else to be? As a homeless veteran, I'm homeless. I live in this car. So wherever I want to park my car, as long as I'm parked legally, I can be in that car. And that's what I'm doing. These guys, though, I highly doubt this is a homeless person because they came closer to me. They were across the parking lot. They were in a different parking spot over further back from here. So they were like where that white truck is, but they were angled this way at first. They had their headlights on at one point. I pulled my camera up to take a picture of them, and then I put it back down and kept doing my thing. Kept the car running. I got a full tank of gas. But they got closer and parked again and turned on their headlights and turned off their headlights and turned them on and off. Bruh. I mean, what are the odds this is a citizen just fucking around with their headlights and getting closer to me, further away from any of the businesses? Now, I gotta admit, I'm sitting in a very, what do you call it? I had this word in my head. My buddy from Conspicuous. My buddy from Basic Training one time. He looked up at me as the tables were clearing. And the tables clearing means it's your turn. You've got to get up soon. And as we saw one table get up, he said, "We're about to become conspicuous." And I thought, that's hilarious. I am sitting in a very conspicuous spot. Middle of the back of the parking lot. The only car in the parking lot. I've been here since 3 a.m. in my car. I'm very obvious. They don't seem to respect that I'm back here, because again, nobody has a reason to get closer to me. There's no reason. Like, if you look over there, that's a gas station. You can walk down that little embankment there and be down at the gas station. That's EC Auto Sales behind me. So this is just a car lot behind me. And it goes all the way around. It goes all the way around. Behind me is a car lot onto the main road there. And then over there, there's nothing. And that's an exit over there. Again, those headlights right there that you see in the parking lot, that's a cop. That's that cop with the red and blues. They've turned off their red and blues. But this one's still watching me. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put my camera over here for a second. I'm going to put it down. You're just not going to see me for a minute. I'm going to put on my hoodies, and I'm going to start walking around. And I'm going to start walking around, and when I walk around, I'm going to record license plates, and we'll see if this car next to me here starts moving as soon as I loop around behind them. Because I'll bet that they do. And as soon as they do, I'll bet that other cop car moves. And as soon as they do, I'll bet they move toward me. And they won't have a right to talk to me because I won't give them any reason to. Standing out in a parking lot recording is my right. It's a First Amendment right. Protected First Amendment right. If they violate it, if they say I don't have that right, I need to go, they're the problem. And they can't say I'm loitering because it's my business why I'm here. In this case, I'm making a video for YouTube. So I have business. This is my business right now. And maybe I don't have any history of posting anything on YouTube, but today's the first day and I want to start. It's my business. It's not their business. It's not their right to know. So they don't get to. So I'm going to put on pants. Now I say that. I'm wearing pants, but I'm wearing like sweatpants, comfortable ones. I'm going to put on pants. And I've already put on my hoodie and my fleece. It's 34 degrees outside. It's 6 a.m. So pretty soon I'll be cold if I don't dress up properly. But I'm gonna dress properly and we're gonna walk around outside. But let me just get changed here. So yeah, just to let you know, this person's still in their car, right over here. The cop is still on that side of the parking lot. Their thought, I think, is to block both entrances of the parking lot, because the one cop on that end where is one entrance to the parking lot. The cop on this end over here is next to that sign that and next to the Dunkin' Donuts. The Dunkin' Donuts is right next to the other entrance to this parking lot. So, yeah, again, I'm changing my pants. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing illegal about it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an investigation of this car, because Walking around in public and recording license plates, by the way, that's something else. That's totally legal. I can walk through this parking lot and record all the license plates in this parking lot, or I can unintentionally or intentionally record just one of them if I want. Because you have no right to privacy in public. Your license plates are public, so there's no right to privacy. So you can do whatever you want. So you can do whatever you want in that aspect. You can record all day. Let me just get this belt. There we go. Now I'm much more prepared for the weather. And let me get these gym shoes on and start walking around and recording, seeing what we can stir up. Yeah, this is a lot of fun. All right, let me see if I can get this without having to worry too much. Car's turned off. Keys are in the pocket. Let's see what we do. Got no reason to mess with me right now. That bright light there is the cop. And this person here, they're moving in their car. They just put their arm up. Hood up. Hanging out. Awkward. But yeah, I think I'm gonna get out. I think I'm gonna get out and walk around. Alright. Let's see what we see. See what we see, guys. Just gonna record over here, record this way, just keep recording. Now that person is a lady, so maybe she's not related to the police. But what do we think the odds are? Oh, suddenly she wants to move. SFA 2695. That's the license plate. Gwinnett. Suddenly she's got her lights on again. That's weird. Interesting. Owl in the window or something? Alright. Let's walk over to this police officer. Let's scare them off. Go walk over and ask them what the fuck they're doing, because they got to be pretty busy. There's a lot of stuff going on these days. Let's find out, man. Let's find out. I'm gonna take out one earpiece. Truck's coming in. Took out one earpiece. Okay. Just recording. Let's see, what's this little trailer here? Flora's Grill. I bet they serve some pretty good food. Let's go this way. Let's get on the sidewalk. It'd be better. Just moving toward this cop. Sheriff of Gwinnett County. Post up where I can see him. Yep. Make it nice and obvious. He's being recorded. Now he wants to move? Yeah, he might. Step up a little closer above so that I can get his his face. Oh, he turned off his light. Doesn't want to be identified, I guess. Car number 322. Let's walk around back. See what he's doing. Sheriff of Gwinnett County. Let's see what he's doing back here. Get the license plate good. Golf Victor 5596 Tango. Alright, looking good. Look at that vehicle. It's a nice looking vehicle, man. Look at that. Beautiful. I wonder how long he sits here. He doesn't have a right to approach. This is how awkward you can make it. Somebody just shouted. I signaled that there was somebody over there shouting. So now he thinks that that's what I said. So now he's going to go get him. No? No, but he is driving away. He's not engaging. That's wise. Because I'll follow him all the way through this parking lot. I'm going to walk fast to keep up. Because I can't be guilty of harassing him. We're allowed to record them. Excuse me, sir. Sorry. We're allowed to record them in the course of their duties. So that's what I'm doing. He's in the course of his duty. That other person may not be a cop. But this person... This guy's cheering me on. Hold up, I gotta keep up with this cop. Yeah, man. Look, out of the way. Look, I'm out in the open here. Out in the parking lot. Walking. He can't pull me over for walking, can he? No, he can't. He's leaving. He's going around back. He's gonna go around back, but I'm gonna follow him. I'm gonna keep following this guy. I think I'm gonna run and catch up. I go to the gym. Ow. Oh, I got a bad left knee. Oh, and this person over there, this person right here, still got their lights on. Still got their lights on. And they're still pointed at my car. Aren't they? I'm gonna go walk up and identify them. Not address them, but I'm sure this will identify them. This will tell them that I know them. Where'd that cop go? You wonder. Went around back. But it's this one who called him. Again, Sierra Foxtrot Alpha 2695. Sierra Foxtrot Alpha 2695. Just parked. They know. They know that I know. And they tried to intimidate me. I just chased off their cop. Gwinnett County Sheriff, wasting money. Fraud, waste, and abuse. Wasting time, wasting money. Not doing their jobs. They should be catching criminals instead of bothering me when I'm sitting in my car I'm just sitting in my car in a parking spot way out of the way of everybody else. Why they gotta target me? They don't. But I'm willing to bet that if I walk around this corner, that cop in that car, in that unmarked car, will get out and try to walk up to my vehicle. And I can catch that. Let's go see where this one went. What do you think? Let's go see. No? He ain't around over here? No. He's gone. He gone. But this is an entrance to the parking lot. So he could have left that way. And now I'm going to go back and get in my car. I can see my car. Nobody's outside of their car. Man, it felt good to be encouraged by that guy. That was nice. He was saying, get him. Get him. He was yelling, get him. That's what happens when you pull your camera out. The citizens back you. And that's who you want on your side. You never want a cop on your side. They're useless. They only protect their own. Blue lives matter, right? Thin blue line. Bullshit. It should be. It should be the citizens that matter. And that's who I want on my side. Anytime. Just an overweight white lady. I don't mean to be rude. I want to make sure I describe her correctly. But she's acting strange. So now I'm back in my vehicle, and this lady probably called on me, maybe. The cop would have, if they were smart, they would have said, well, we don't have a good reason to pursue, so we can't do anything, but we'll come check it out. And when I got out of my car and I walked up and recorded him and chased him off, if this lady happens to be somebody that owns maybe a business here, or if she's somebody that, you know, manages the leases here, something like that, they would have told her, we can't do anything. And then she would have seen me get out, run over to that cop, and hold up a camera, and him run away. And that's how you settle all these things. These Karens who call cops on people like me who are doing nothing wrong deserve to be shown that there's nothing they can do. Absolutely nothing. We have every right to be here. We have every right to exist. We have every right to not be harassed by law enforcement, not be engaged by law enforcement when we're not doing anything wrong. And they don't have a right to call the police and waste government money and taxpayers' dollars on things that are not crimes. And sometimes you don't have to tell them all this in order to show them that and teach them that. That's why I got out of my car and I ran over and chased off that cop. So now what I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to cut off the video, start it uploading to YouTube, and then warm up in this car and chill for a bit. And then if anything else happens with this lady here in this car with her headlights, I'm going to get the camera back out and start a fresh video. But so far, we've had a really successful cop audit. And the cop, to his credit there, he actually showed up here, didn't do anything ostensibly wrong other than sitting around and doing nothing for a while. So I could say he could make the reasoning. He was sitting around doing what seemed to be nothing. Maybe he was talking to a supervisor. Maybe he was, gathering information or closing up a case, writing up some report on something else he was already doing. But the fact that he ran away kind of shows evidence of a guilty conscience. Meaning, if he was doing everything right, and I came up and recorded him, he'd be happy because I would be recording him doing his job in the right way, and that should be rewarded. We hired him to do a job, and he's doing it right. Great. Now, I will say again, so I think that's evidence of guilty conscience. It might not be. It might be he loops through here once in a while, and then he pulls away. Oh, he's back. He's come back. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I guess I'm not putting the phone down. I was going to, but now he's got his lights flashing, which is funny. Oh, he turned them off. And he's looped back around. He's parking under the Flora's Grill sign, which is blocking traffic, but whatever, there's no traffic. There's his lights. No good reason for those lights to be on. Let's get back out and record him again. Turned off the car. Still over there. Oh, he's driving. Where's he going? Let's just keep an eye on him from here for now. He's looping back around to the same spot he was in when I was recording him earlier, I think. Nope, he's just driving around. He's not stopping. He's going real slow, but he's not stopping. Parked again. Let's go. You see this? I'm watching you. So yeah, that's how it happens. A Karen will call a cop. Sometimes the cop will do the right thing and say, "We can't do anything, Karen. Get the fuck out of here." But other times, the cops will show up and say, "We got a call." Now watch. He doesn't have a right to engage me. Nothing I'm doing illegal. Doesn't have a right to engage. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. We don't like your kind around here. Keep rolling. They used to call this jaywalking if they could, but pedestrians always have right of way, especially in a parking lot. Keep rolling. I'm interested in you, bud, because I think you were called here for me. Oh, you're gonna loop around and come back? Great. I'll get up off on the sidewalk here and we'll see what happens. You think it's the same guy? It's the same guy. 322 Golf Victor 5596 Tango. Same guy. He looped back around. Came back to the parking lot. So I don't know what he's doing, what crime he's pursuing, because it looks like he's just looping around this parking lot multiple times and wasting our money. Doesn't it? I mean, he hasn't pulled anybody over. He turned on flashing lights earlier, but didn't have any good reason to. Or didn't seem to have a good reason. This is my gym I'm walking next to. The manager knows me there. So now he's pulled up next to somebody who's turned on their flashers. I don't know why. Oh, he's pulling away from them. He's keeping moving. He's keeping moving. I don't see the person. Okay, let's see. Hold on. Even better. If this could be the same person. No, this isn't I think that's a civilian. But the cop left the parking lot now, again, and is going back down the road. Going back down the road. As a pedestrian, I'm just going to walk out here again, back toward my car. I'll bet he's going toward mine, because he's got to loop back around to that auto sales parking lot. And I think they're interested in my license plate, probably. But you know, that person, that older lady, is still sitting in her car. Older, heavy-set lady, still sitting in this car over here. And she doesn't seem like she's doing anything important. She just turns on her headlights and turns them off. Turns on her car and turns them off. And comes a car into the parking lot. That's just a car, okay. Let's keep walking. Let's see if he pulled into this parking lot down below, because he might have. But this is called conducting a First Amendment audit to see if my First Amendment rights will be maintained, will be respected. And that's my business, effectively. So again, they can't ask me what my business is. They can't interrogate me. I'm allowed to have business anywhere in public. So if you see, this is a public parking lot, but it's an auto sales parking lot. So that's, do you see that sign over there? EC Auto Sales. I'll zoom in real quick. So he could pull into that parking lot, probably. And then from down below here, this is a big drop off right here, if you can see. So it's a pretty big drop. But they could effectively come behind my car and get my license plate that way, but I don't think they want to do that. Let's just get back in the car. It's cold. I chased the cop off twice now. And this lady here giving away the game. Chased the cop off twice in front of you. Did you see that? And now this lady could be somebody that works with the police. I mean, she could be. She could be, just a member in a different capacity. She doesn't look like police to me. Like I said, she's heavier. She's old, like gray hair, long gray hair. And she's in an unmarked car, but she hasn't left. Now, here's the thing. If you're a private citizen, if you're just minding your own, and you see me get out of my car, loop around, and stare at the back of your vehicle with my camera, aren't you going to feel a little weird? And then you see me get back in my car and keep focused on your vehicle? Doesn't that feel awkward to you? It would feel awkward to a normal person. That's the reason I think this person either has property here somewhere and they called the police, or they are working with the police and they are unmarked police. Though, again, she's older, so I don't know. I mean, it seems like she might have a secretarial role if she's doing that. But this is a oddball character. Now, she could be just a weirdo who doesn't get bothered by people exercising their First Amendment right awkwardly, like so directly on you, as if you're the target. But I don't know, man. Not many civilians would react this way. It would be a real rare instance for somebody to act like this, I think. And again, she's turned on her headlights, pointed them at me, turned them off, turned them on again, turned them off, turned on her car, turned it off. Now, if you're a homeless person, that kind of turning on your engine is normal in the cold when it's 36 degrees out, but turning on your headlights and off your headlights, as a homeless person, you don't try to attract attention. You try to minimize the attention you attract. So if you're turning on and off your headlights, you're attracting attention, and it kind of gets people to just kind of turn their heads sometimes. And when you're homeless, having somebody just turn their head just slightly can be a risk to you and your health and your safety, and can get you a knock on your window or all kinds of things. So this is just weird that she's just sitting here. But again, what I'm going to do, turn on my car, sit in the heat as it warms back up. It's 34 degrees out now. It's 6:40 in the morning. I'm gonna sit here and wait. And if anything else happens, I'll get the camera back out and I'll chase off another cop. But if nothing happens, then what I'm going to do is have a great night. Actually, I'm sorry, a great morning, and I hope you guys have a great day. and we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping nothing happens. What I'm hoping will happen is this car will eventually move on to something else, and then I'll leave. Because I don't want to leave before they leave. That cop, I chased him off. He didn't come up to my vehicle. He didn't retaliate. He's not guilty of a lot of different crimes that he could have committed against rights. So he was smarter than somebody else might be. But this person here, I don't know if they're very smart. I don't know. I can't really address it. It's just strange. They're just acting strange. Now, there's no rule against acting strange. You're allowed to be weird. I'm weird. You're allowed to be as weird as you want to be. But to act this strange, I don't know, man. And to have a cop show up, it's coincidental. That's all. It's coincidental. And I don't think it's wrong necessarily, but I can't imagine it's not connected somehow. It's 6 a.m. Usually we don't see a cop around here at 6 a.m. Now, that said, back when I dealt with that other cop, S. Johnson, from Gwinnett County Sheriff's, and you can see that in the other videos I uploaded. I uploaded 2 videos where I interacted with her in the same night, and it's really, there's maybe a 15-minute, maybe less than that, break between the 2 interactions. And it only really records those 2 interactions, and those 2 interactions are after the fact of the first interaction she had with me, wherein I had all my windows blacked out. Like, I have curtains, see, rolled up, velcroed and pinned, that I drop down, and I can be completely blacked out in this car. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to create privacy in public. And I had a thing across my windshield, you know, to make it so nobody could see in here at all. Today I've sat with just no coverings so that I could see everything, and that's when I saw this person pull up and act weird. But that day I had all the windows covered. I didn't see her pull up. In fact, she had her lights all the way on me, and I didn't see her. Here's this guy back. Let's see what he's doing. There's no reason to drive through there. That's weird. Let's turn off the car. Let's chase him off again, because that's what we're going to do. Yep. See, I'm acting real weird, aren't I? But I'm doing everything legally. This is legal. You're in public. You have no right to privacy in public. See, I'm a cop enthusiast. I really like them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Get out of here. Nobody wants you around. Nobody called you that matters. And they're not calling you for laws that are being broken. Keep it moving. There you go, bud. Let's see if he goes around this building all the way. Should come out the front, but he might have parked in this. Nope, he stopped. He didn't stop. Man, not even driving in driving lanes. He's just cutting through parking spots. It's weird. He sure is interested in getting next to this car, isn't he? Nothing wrong with just standing still and recording anything you can see. So if I film Al Medina there, By the way, if you go in there, they have really good food. They're closed right now, but when they're open, they have really good food, and there's a really nice guy in there. I forget his name right now, but he is my friend. He introduces himself too. My friend, you know, he'll say, my friend, my friend. He's actually a really nice guy. He gave me some really good food the other day, and I haven't been back in there, but that's just because I've been busy. But it's not because they don't have good food. They have really good food in that market. So, and again, this is the Planet Fitness. Manuel is the guy that runs this place, and he's actually a really good manager. He highly respects the rights of people. He protects them. He trains his people. The cop is leaving the parking lot again. He trains his people to not give away information to the cops. So like I said, when I had that interaction the last time, she came up to my car and was snooping around it. I cracked my window and said, get away from my car. And she wouldn't. She said, give me your ID. No, there's no crime. No reason to give you my ID. I am making it painfully obvious that he's being watched, that he's being followed. Anytime he comes into this parking lot, I am making it painfully obvious. And whoever this person is over here, they know it too. They know that I'm not afraid of them and that I'll chase them. And that's how you've got to treat them. They only respond to fear. And that's the only way they talk to people too. They talk through fear and intimidation. They only respond to fear. You've got to scare them. You've got to intimidate them. And you've got to know your rights so that you can intimidate them with your knowledge. Because once you know your rights and you can assert your rights, then they can't do anything to stop it. They can't do anything at all to stop it. Now I'm going to sit on the hood of my car and zoom in on this one. She's not wearing a hood. It's just long gray hair. But I am so out in the open right now. Pointed my camera right at her. I wish you could see it. I'm just sitting here on the hood of the car and recording. There's nothing illegal about this. You could do this to any citizen in public. I could pick any one of these cars and focus on them. Because there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, that guy has some really nice tires. I want to take a picture of those tires. Or those rims. Or that ladder. Oh, that's an amazing ladder. I focused on this one. Because she focused on me. She got closer to me. She turned on her headlights. She turned on her engine several times in her headlights. I mean, and then the cop showed up. And now the cop has been doing loops and getting closer to my vehicle each time he does a loop. It's strange. But she has to know that this is going on. I mean, really. Not only she has to know, but she has to know that I just chased off that cop. Twice, 3 times, is it? And I wanted to stop. I wanted to stop recording, but I can't. And again, Manuel, this guy in here, I told him about the story with that last cop interaction with Gwinnett County Sheriff, and he said, yeah, you're allowed to sit in that parking lot all night if you want. We're open 24 hours, 5 days a week, and anytime we're open, you're allowed to be in that parking lot. In fact, he said, even if we're not open, I don't care if you sit in that parking lot. It's a public parking lot. People are coming and going at all hours of the night and day. So there's no reason you can't just be in your car in the parking lot. There's also no reason you can't be out of your car in the parking lot, but it's not as warm, I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna get back in the car. Oh, gotta unlock it first. Come on now. Get your shit together. Ugh. Get back in the car, and now that she knows I'm staring at her, what's she gonna do? I mean, she waved her hand at me at one point, like a greeting kind of. But it's like we're just staring at each other. And the funny thing is, I have food in my belly. I have a drink next to me. Arizona. Well, I'm out on that one, but I have more. Arizona iced. Arizona. What is it? Arnold Palmer. Have you ever had those? They're really good. Anyway, I have everything I need in this car to literally sit here indefinitely. And they don't. Whatever they're doing, they probably don't. Unless they're homeless and they've packed up their car in their home in their car. they're not able to just sit here indefinitely. Imagine you're in an RV, okay, and you've got everything you fucking need. You can literally sit here all night in that RV. And there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what they'll say is there's camping laws. Yeah, well, parking and sitting in your car and using your cell phone, that's not camping. That's not camping. Camping is sitting there for days on end, maybe, or starting a fire, you know, pitching a tent, calling it a night. This isn't camping. This is me doing a job. Oh, cop's coming back. Time to go. Here he comes. Just a cop enthusiast. Keeping it moving, bud. You know I'm following you, right? It's obvious. It's obvious, right? You see this, right, lady? He's driving through parking spaces. He doesn't have to obey the driving lanes in the parking lot. He could just drive where the fuck he wants, huh? He doesn't have to be expected. He doesn't have to do things that other cars would expect him to do. And what they're trying to do right now, I think what he's trying to do is loop around to the back of my car so that he can ID my license plate. But again, he has no reason to run a search. And running a search of your license plate is a search. And there's nothing wrong with following him. I can follow him everywhere. But he's trying to pull me away from my car so that he can do that. He's baiting. What a fucking dick. Oh, there might be kids around, who knows. Looping around. I just stood here. Just stop and stare at the cop. Because you can. When you're in public, you can chase them off. Just keep recording. People in this truck are backing up. Let's just give them their space. But I'm the pedestrian, so I have a right of way. They will yield, and they did. And I'm moving, so I'm not holding up traffic. Just watching a cop drive in and out of the parking lot over and over again. Not pursuing crime, just wasting time and money. Wasting all our government time and money. All our taxpayer dollars on this one asshole here who doesn't know what he's doing and is just looping around this parking lot continuously. It's a strange thing to do. It's a really crazy way to act, especially if you're a cop. Right? And by the way, my camera, my cell phone unfolds. It's the Z Fold 6. So I've got it unfolded. It's not just one small phone in my hand. I've got it's as if I have two phones side by side in my hand. That's the size of it. And it's like a tablet. So I'm like holding up a tablet in front of me with both hands and pointing it at them. There's no way. It's not subtle. There's nothing subtle about this. And I'll tell you what, if you want to empower yourself, learn your rights, and then tell them you're watching. Let them know you got your eye on them. Because they're trying to intimidate me, but it's not working, is it? And now he's just wasting more time. Because he's not pursuing a crime. Gwinnett County Sheriff, I guess they went through all the rape kits and they've caught all the murderers. They've done all their detective work, and they've got this patrol officer out here. He's not ticketing anybody for doing illegal things on the highway. He's just looping around, trying to scare people. It's dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. All right, back to the car. This is over and over again. Over and over again. You just keep doing the same thing. And I'll be here until you leave. I left my door unlocked. That's not a good idea. Don't do that. But now it's locked. All right. Just keep our eyes on this lady, because she's clearly something. I don't know what, but she's clearly something. Something that's causing this. And I'll just wait for that cop to loop back around. He still doesn't have a reason to talk to me. Because you're allowed to follow them through the parking lot. You're allowed to record them in the course of their duties. Duty. Anyway, you're allowed to record them anytime. I'm trying to figure out where my camera is, but anyway, on the back of the phone there. So my finger wasn't in front of it. Anyway, there we go. Got myself a fresh one. I keep them behind my seat. That's why I needed one hand, and I needed to know where the camera was so that I could hold it one-handed and get my drink. But see how this works? You don't have to be afraid of them. They should be afraid of you. And I honestly don't think they should be afraid of you either. But if they're going to act like dumbasses, then they should be afraid. Because they're being paid by us to do a job. And, I mean, this is an hour-long video. An hour long that cop has been looping around. That's an hour of taxpayer dollars spent on him. Pension goes into that. His straight income and his paycheck, but also his benefits. He's getting all that for just driving through this parking lot slowly and not even following the driving lanes. Like driving through parking spaces and awkwardly looping around like a moron. So I don't know if he should be, on duty anymore. I think we should probably replace him. But he's smart because he's avoided me. Because if I catch him and I walk up to him and ask him for his name and badge number, he's got to give it to me. And when he does, we'll know who he is for sure. But right now he hasn't, so we don't know for sure. And we don't know who this person is for sure. And it's okay. Again, haven't done anything wrong. So there's no reason for any of that. Oh, here comes a fast-moving police car. Oh, gosh. There's people walking around here, man. You're driving through the parking lot like a maniac. Not even lights on. Let's see. Let's see what happens next, because they're right there. There they are. Yep. They're right behind this truck, if you can see that. They were tailgating for a second, speeding through the parking lot to get to this other end, to get to this other entrance. No lights on, so probably not an emergency to speed through a parking lot where people are walking. But that's Gwinnett County Sheriff for you, because that's another Gwinnett County car. Just getting more and more interesting here as we go. Again, an hour-long video. I didn't start recording until I found out that this lady right here in this car was kind of weird and awkward and just sits there and stares at me. Stays in her car and stays staring. It kind of looks like she's on the phone right now, maybe, but I don't know. I think she has her hand pressed to her ear. You can tell it's hard to see in the dark there, and she probably has that by design. But if she leaves, man, it's time for me to leave, right? If she leaves and then somebody else leaves, I leave, and the video ends. I'd like to end the video right now, but I don't know. I feel like that cop will loop back around again, and I'll have to jump right back out. to do my business, which is promote Al Medina halal market. And I'll tell you, again, I'm not halal anything. I don't care about that. I just like their food. They have really good food. And I don't know Flora's Grill, which is over on that end, but I've smelled some really good stuff coming out of there too. Flora's Grill. And this is in Norcross, Georgia. So if you're down in Norcross, Georgia, and you want to record cops who don't have anything better to do than loop around, come down to the Planet Fitness on Jimmy Carter Boulevard and just park in the back of the parking lot. Look, there's plenty of space. You can park alongside me anytime you want, and we can have a lot of fun recording weirdos who pull up or cops who loop around awkwardly. And we can chase them off 4 or 5 times together as a team, because that's hilarious too. And when we do that as a team, they learn better. And then they do stuff like, well, man, I guess we can't just loop around parking lots awkwardly anymore. What we should do instead is pursue crime, because they have no reason to suspect a crime has been committed. Oh, she's turned on her lights. That's progress. They have no reason to suspect a crime's been committed, so they shouldn't be here. They should be where they suspect crime is. But there's no crime, so they should not be here. Now, she may have been on the phone with them. Yeah, he's still here. And they're like, lady, he's been following our cops. We don't want anything to do with him. He probably knows his rights. We can't do anything. And she's about to give up, maybe. Finally, after an hour of chasing them around and chasing them off, maybe she's been told, don't bother him. No crime is being committed. Yeah, here we go. She's rolling away. Woohoo! Yeah! Get going. Get going. There you go. Drive of shame. Drive of shame. Now, that's not just her that's made the drive of shame, but the cops made the drive of shame as well. Now, if I wasn't a customer to this Planet Fitness, if I wasn't a customer to any of these buildings, it doesn't matter. It's a public space, a public parking lot. So we're allowed to be here. And we're allowed to just exist. That's allowed. That's legal. It's not illegal to just sit and exist. But she's leaving. Isn't that hilarious? Isn't that hilarious? She got the notification, hey, we can't do anything about this guy. I bet. Because that's how that goes. Karens do this. They'll sit there and they'll watch the chaos that they cause with the police. And if you don't let that happen, oh look, she's backed up in traffic now. But she's out there. I'm gonna keep an eye out because she might loop back around and try to follow me or something like that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut off the camera. Actually, let's just do this. I'll do this. I'll record while driving. That way you can see that now I'm going to drive away because everybody has left, and we'll see what happens. They shouldn't follow me, because if they do, that'll be the equivalent of stalking, maybe, or I'm trying to hang it on different ones. I am not set up to do this at all, but they could be all kinds of things. That lady could have been guilty of stalking because she was just sitting there staring at me the whole time when I made it clear that I didn't care that she was there, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, they're not back. They're not coming. I'll turn around the camera if I see anything interesting. But now I'm gonna pull out, turn on my headlights, and get going out of this parking lot. We're gonna go left out of this parking lot and go way out of this area. And we're gonna see what kind of attention I get, because they've been watching my car. They've got to know my car is a white Kia, and they're gonna find it probably to try and retaliate for me chasing off their cops. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll see what happens. Let's just pull into this parking lot, actually. This is the Kroger, which is just right here. It's literally one light down. So if I pull into this parking lot and just park, they shouldn't know I'm here because they're not following me, right? I'm not interesting. I haven't done anything wrong, so they shouldn't be following me. But what if I just pull in and I park over here? Oh, and by the way, they're worried, the cops too, they're worried about a rights violation because if I get one against me, that's a payday, right, for me, and they think I'm a bum. They don't want to give a bum a paycheck. They think I'm a loser. They don't want to give me a paycheck if they can help it. So yeah. Now, the entrance... Hi! The entrance was right there that I came in. That's the Kroger sign. And this is a gym as well, ATL Fitness. This one's also, I think, 24-hour gym, 24/7. So this one always has people coming and going. They really have no right to mess with you in these parking lots because you could park this far back and say, well, I parked my car there to go to that gym. And this is a shared parking lot. There's nothing, I can drive over to there just from here without going onto the road. So there should be no problem with any of this. And I shouldn't have any problems for the rest of tonight, or for the rest of the morning, actually, because now it's 7 a.m. But man, that was a fun adventure, wasn't it? A fun adventure. It was good. It was good. All right, well, I'm going to get going. My name's Steve. It's been great. And tell that citizen, whoever encouraged me, that, man, that guy was shouting me on. Get him! Get him! That felt good. He was nice. I'm telling you, it is great when you're out there chasing cops off. Now, if the cop was doing his job, there's nothing to chase off. But when you're doing the right thing and the citizens back you up, there's no greater feeling, There's no greater feeling. Anyway, always record the police. Always. If you see police activity, put your camera on them. Keep them honest, because they will not be honest unless the camera's on them. They're not. They have a history of not being honest. They have a history of turning off their body cams or losing body cam footage. But guess what? I got an hour and 17 minutes of video here that they can't steal. I upload it to a cloud. They'll never be able to get it off the internet. They'll never be able to prevent it from being submitted in court. And that's important for you and for whoever the victim is that you might be recording next time you record the police. If you have time in your day, just stop what you're doing and put an eye on them. They deserve it. It's needed. It's how we keep them accountable. It's why we have a First Amendment, so that the Second Amendment never has to come into play. You have a First Amendment to express yourself, to redress grievances, to record people, so that you never have to feel like you need to get violent. You see? This keeps people from getting violent. And that's what it's all about, keeping the peace. So with that, I'm going to sign off. Thanks. Have a good one.